In 2024, Mr. Beast's YouTube media operation brought in $246 million in revenue. It lost $80 million that same year. Feastables, the chocolate bar company he launched in January 2022, brought in $250 million in revenue. It made $20 million in profit. The chocolate bar was more profitable than the biggest YouTube channel on the planet. Not slightly more profitable. The channel that has 480 million subscribers, that has generated over 100 billion views, that made Jimmy Donaldson the most famous creator in the history of the internet, lost 80 million last year. The chocolate bar made 20 million. And if you don't understand why that is actually the most brilliant business structure in the creator economy right now, this video is for you. Jimmy Donaldson grew up in Greenville, North Carolina. He started his YouTube channel at 13 years old in 2012. For the first 5 years, almost nothing happened. He posted gaming content. He posted commentary. He tried different formats. By 2017, he had around 30,000 subscribers, which after 5 years of work is not a number that suggests anything exceptional is coming. But during those 5 years, he was doing something that most people starting YouTube channels do not do. He was studying. He was watching every video that went viral and trying to understand the specific mechanics of why it spread. He has talked about this in interviews extensively. He would reverse engineer successful videos frame by frame, trying to identify the exact moment someone would stop scrolling and what the thumbnail did to make them click in the first place. He built spreadsheets. He tracked retention curves. He developed theories about optimal thumbnail design, optimal title length, optimal hook duration in the first 10 seconds. He was treating YouTube like an engineering problem before the vocabulary for that existed in the creator community. And the conclusion he kept coming back to was simple. The videos that got watched were the ones where the premise was impossible to look away from. Not informative, not funny, impossible to look away from. Then he posted a video of himself counting to 100,000. It took him 40 hours. He filmed the whole thing. It went viral. Not because counting to 100,000 is interesting, because the commitment was insane in a way that made people stop scrolling. He followed it with videos where he read the entire dictionary, where he watched paint dry for hours, where he did other things that required extreme endurance for no practical reason. The bit was, I will do anything, no matter how absurd or painful, to make this video. That bit became the foundation of everything. By 2018, he had 1 million subscribers. By 2019, he had 20 million. By 2021, he had 50 million. The acceleration was not from getting better at YouTube. It was from reinvesting everything back into production. Every dollar the channel made went back into making the next video more expensive, more elaborate, and harder to look away from. He has said publicly that for years he lived on essentially nothing, keeping his personal spending at near zero and funneling every cent of revenue back into content. The production budget for his videos is now estimated at somewhere between €3 and $4 million per video. Per video. A single Mr. Beast video costs as much to produce as a small Hollywood film. The $800 chocolate box challenge. The recreating Squid Game in real life video. The Willy Wonka chocolate factory video. Each of those required building full sets, hiring dozens of production staff, and paying out real prize money to real contestants. That is where the $80 million annual loss comes from. He makes the videos. The videos get hundreds of millions of views. The ad revenue comes in, and then he spends more than the ad revenue making the next videos. He has described his YouTube channel as a loss leader. The specific term he uses is that YouTube is his marketing budget. He is not making money from the channel. He is spending the channel's revenue, plus additional capital, to maintain the audience size that makes everything else he is building worth what it is worth. Because here is the number that matters. 480 million YouTube subscribers. That is not an audience. That is a distribution network. When Mr. Beast launches a product, 480 million people receive a notification. When he makes a video featuring Feastables, hundreds of millions of people watch it, and some percentage of them go to Walmart and buy a chocolate bar. Traditional consumer packaged goods companies spend 10 to 15% of their revenue on advertising to get their products in front of consumers. Hershey's spends around $600 million a year on marketing. Mars spends more. Feastables spent zero on traditional advertising in its first 2 years. Jimmy made YouTube videos. The videos were the advertising. And the advertising cost him nothing in the traditional sense because he was making the videos anyway. Feastables launched in January 2022. In the first 72 hours, it sold 1 million chocolate bars, generating over 10 million in sales. Not over a year. In 72 hours. Most consumer packaged goods companies spend years and tens of millions of dollars trying to reach that kind of launch momentum. Feastables did it because Mr. Beast made a YouTube video about it. The launch video featured a sweepstakes where buyers could win a chance to compete in a real-life chocolate factory challenge. It was not a product announcement. It was entertainment that happened to have a chocolate bar in it. The product was secondary to the experience of watching Mr. Beast do a thing. And the people who watched bought the chocolate almost as an extension of participating in the content. That is a completely different consumer psychology than what traditional advertising creates. A Hershey's ad tells you the chocolate tastes good. A Mr. Beast video makes you feel like buying the chocolate is being part of something. The distinction sounds soft, but it shows up in the numbers. Feastables commanded significantly higher pricing than traditional chocolate bars in its early days because the audience was paying for the brand relationship, not just the chocolate. By the end of 2024, it was in 30,000 retail locations across the US, Canada, and Mexico. Walmart is the anchor partner alongside Target and 7-Eleven. Most CPG founders spend a decade fighting for that kind of shelf space. Donaldson got it in 2 years because Walmart wanted the foot traffic his audience generates. People who follow Mr. Beast go to Walmart specifically because Feastables is there. Walmart is paying for shelf placement with shelf placement itself because the foot traffic justifies it. That is leverage that no amount of traditional marketing spend can replicate. For context on how rare this is, Hershey's took 130 years to build the retail presence Feastables built in 2. The difference is not product quality. The difference is that Hershey's had to convince retailers their customers wanted the product. Mr. Beast brought the customers with him. Now let's talk about Beast Industries because the chocolate bar is only part of the story. Beast Industries is the holding company Jimmy formed to organize everything he is building. It was valued at $5 billion in November 2025 following a $300 million Series C funding round led by Alpha Wave. Total funding raised across all rounds exceeds $450 million. Jimmy's own stake in Beast Industries is estimated at roughly half the company, putting his personal net worth at somewhere between $2.5 and $3 billion. He became a billionaire in June 2024 at age 26, making him one of the youngest self-made billionaires on record. He has publicly said his personal bank account holds less than $1 million. The rest is in equity. He is a billionaire who says he has less than $1 million in the bank because he keeps reinvesting everything. Beast Industries currently has 7 operating subsidiaries. Feastables, the chocolate and snack brand, doing $520 million projected in 2025. Beast Games, the Amazon Prime Video show that was a reality competition with $5 million in prize money, the largest prize pot in game show history. The first season pulled in massive viewership numbers for Amazon, and a second season is already confirmed. Mr. Beast Studios, the production operation that handles all content creation across his channel network, which now spans multiple language-specific channels in Spanish, Portuguese, Hindi, and others, each with tens of millions of subscribers independently. ViewStats, a YouTube analytics platform that helps other creators track and optimize their performance. This one is interesting because it is a software business built entirely on knowledge he accumulated, studying YouTube for a decade, and it monetizes that knowledge by selling it back to other creators. Step, a fintech app targeting Gen Z banking that he acquired in February 2026 and which has over 7 million users. The acquisition signals that he's trying to build a financial relationship with his audience that extends beyond buying chocolate bars. Lunchly, a packaged snack kit co-created with Logan Paul and KSI as an alternative to Lunchables. The brand had a rough launch after a food safety controversy, but remains active. And Beast Philanthropy, his nonprofit arm that has given away tens of millions of dollars in food, housing, surgeries, and other direct aid to people in need. The philanthropy is not a tax strategy. It is content. Beast Philanthropy videos generate hundreds of millions of views. Those views maintain the audience that makes Feastables worth $520 million. Every arm of the operation feeds every other arm. Now, here's the risk side of this structure, because there is one. Everything in Beast Industries is downstream of one person's continued relevance on one platform. If Jimmy Donaldson gets canceled, the audience shrinks. If the audience shrinks, Feastables' foot traffic at Walmart shrinks. If Feastables' foot traffic shrinks, Walmart renegotiates the shelf deal. The entire $5 billion valuation is attached to the continued existence and popularity of a 26-year-old's YouTube channel. Beast Industries' own investor documents acknowledge this as the primary risk. They describe it as concentration risk, the same term analysts use when a company's revenue depends too heavily on a single customer or product. In this case, the concentration is in a human being. That is unusual even by startup standards. The businesses he is building outside YouTube, Step, ViewStats, The Amazon Show, are partly attempts to reduce that concentration over time. If Feastables can build genuine brand equity independent of Mr. Beast the character, if people buy it because they like the chocolate and not only because they like the creator, then the business survives whatever happens to the YouTube channel. That transition from creator-dependent brand to standalone brand is the hardest thing any creator-founded consumer company has to achieve. Prime Hydration, Logan Paul, and KSI's energy drink showed that the creator-launched spike does not automatically convert into durable shelf velocity. Feastables' retail-first strategy, rather than direct-to-consumer drops, is the specific bet that it can make that transition. Whether it does is the question that determines whether Beast Industries is worth $5 billion or a fraction of that in 5 years. The videos build the audience. The audience buys the chocolate. The chocolate revenue funds more videos. The videos maintain the audience. The cycle runs itself. And the $80 million annual loss on the media operation is not a failure. It is the cost of maintaining the marketing engine that a $5 billion company is built on. Most people are still watching the YouTube video and thinking they are watching a YouTube video. Rise and ruin? Every time.